What is up, Jabronis? JJ back here with the PGA crew, Snyder, Mangone, Uncle T. Yeah, we weren't here last week. I take complete fault for that. I mean, I never got the memo that some golf tournaments sometimes start on Wednesdays. So I'll take the complete fall there. Needless to say, we're back this week. Good to see everybody again. Uncle T, of course, you as well. Hopefully last week went good for most of you guys. Any brief recaps? I know we didn't do a show, but how'd you guys do last week?
It was an all right week for me. I was underweight on Luke List. I kind of wanted to be underweight on him since I figured he was going to be chalk and everyone was on him, and that turned around to kind of bite me in the rear end. But it was an all right. It was an all right week, though. I mean, nothing bad, nothing great. I mean, had a little bit of sweats going into Sunday, but nothing too big.
And Mangone, Uncle T, hopefully all good there. Anything to add for last week?
Yeah, I had Luke List. He not as an outright, but I had him in the DFS lineup, so that was nice. I was on the other end of Snyder, my guy that got the layer rough and the greens. He was out there on the course and gave me the okay to play Luke List, and it worked out very well. So that was good to see. And cash with the old 5-6 in DFS, so no complaints here. Hopefully we can get a nice 6-6 here this week in DFS and get some good betting winners here for the people.
Love it. Uncle T. And I know you're a busy guy last week. Anything crazy from this from the golf tournament?
No, it's a pretty light week for me. I was on location out of town for 4 or 5 days with radio, so didn't get a chance to really do a whole lot. I was kind of keeping an eye on giving Snyder some shit, back and forth. But no, it wasn't the greatest week for me. But again, I kind of backed off quite a bit last week, so ready to get back at it today or tonight with this tournament. This tournament always seems like it surprises me in the fact that AT&T Pebble Beach, it's one of the bigger name golf tournaments that people can relate to. Not necessarily that they've been there, but just it's a big name golf tournament. And it feels like year after year, the field is more and more watered down at the top. So And then as we'll get into it as we start, a couple of the guys up top have already withdrawn. So it feels like for whatever reason, as far as it being a big name golf course, it never really, or it hasn't recently brought the big names to the tournament, which is, I want to get, Snyder and Mangone's thought on that. But I don't know. It's still a chance to make some money in DFS. There's some big tournaments out there. And I just think it's interesting that not a lot of the big boys play.
Yeah, it should be an interesting tournament nonetheless. Snyder, you want to talk a little bit about the course? From what I hear from some of my inside sources, they're playing on 3 different courses over the next few days, I guess. But Snyder, why don't you break down a little bit of the course, and then we'll go into some DFS plays.
Yeah, they're going to have 3 different courses in play here. The field's set at 156 golfers with the top 60 in ties making the cut. Only the top 60, not 65 this week. A little different for this event. Last year, only 2 courses were played due to COVID, but 2 years ago, once all these courses were played, Monterey played at 69.69, Spyglass played at 72.87, Pebble played at 71.6 for scoring averages over those 3 days that the golfers played. Monterey plays just under 7,000 yards as a par 71. The layered rough there isn't too layered for Mangone. It's only about 1.75 inches tall there, so should put less emphasis on finding the fairway at that track. It's got the biggest greens of the 3 at around 6,000 square feet. Spyglass plays just over 7,000 yards, par 72. It's the more of the tree-lined course of these 2. That's why it kind of plays a little tougher. Pebble is most known for its seaside holes. It plays just under 7,000 yards and is a par 72. Pebble has the smallest greens on tour at just around 3,500 square feet on average. 118 bunkers will litter this course as well. So prepared to play from the sand if one of your guys misses these smaller greens. The par 5 14th hole here at Pebble played over par last year and was only one of 6 such holes to do so on tour last year. The spongy POA greens here can will give players trouble at times. As they tend to be they're going to grow more as the day goes, and they're going to get more bumpy as the day progresses. So it's definitely going to tilt some of those golfers on those short putts that they just barely miss. You can need a good green game.
People don't know this about me, Snyder, but I fuck with the spongy greens. I've always I've always messed with the spongy greens.
Right on. Some of the key stats you'll need around the green. It's a second shot course, so you're going to need to be good with your wedges, strokes gained approach, bogey avoidance off the tee, and putting emphasis on POA.
Awesome. So, Mangone, I'll start with you since you look bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. DFS-wise, one guy at the top, one guy at the bottom. Who you like, or who's some of your favorite guys for DFS?
Yeah, I mean, next time I ever struggle on the golf course, I'm gonna blame the spongy greens. That's exactly where I'm going, no doubt. My feet couldn't handle it when my shoes were off Uncle T. Too much spongy greens for the toes, but it was. This is definitely a course where we should mention Daniel Berger. He did do a late WD, so that changes some stuff at the top for the people. If you look. My kind of plan in DFS was to go up in like this 9K range and just kind of live in this range. I was thinking of just doing the Cantlay fade, the Spieth and the Burger. I'm curious to see what ownership is going to do, but even betting wise, you always hear me talk about this. I love kind of betting like in that 20 to 40 to 1 range a lot more than diving down into that 5 to 1 range. And there's a lot of guys to like here. So I got the FanDuel book up right now, and like a Tringale at 20 to 1, a Seamus Power 20 to 1, and a Maverick Neely. They're all 21 to 1. Those are like 3 DFS guys that I'm kind of keying in on in the 9K range. And my build right now is I'm trying to do like a 3 9K build and then like go for like a bunch of 7K guys. I think like that's my current route. And McNeely, he lives on the course. So if you're playing the PGA DFS podcast drinking game, take a drink because he lives on the course. So there you go. Everyone's talking about that this week, which could come for some more ownership. Another PGA DFS podcast drinking game is look at Jason Day's top 10s he's had this week. He's got all the top 10s. I think he's 8 of 9 this year. So that's what everyone's talking about, 8 of 9, or not this year, at this course. Sorry. But I really like Cameron Tringale. This does feel like a course that I think he can like win at. Big T always talks about like Tringale is bad at like the really good events. And this is definitely a lame event. I mean, Snyder talked about it. Feels like an event that he can absolutely crush. He's pretty accurate. He's long enough too. So I think this is a really good spot for Tringale. I like him at 9,500. And then Seamus Power at 9,400 is another guy I really like in this spot. He's been playing some great golf. I know Snyder can probably get behind some Seamus Power, especially in this field. Like we paid in the 9K range for him like a couple of weeks ago in like a more loaded field than this. So I think those are the 3 guys in the 9K range I'm keying in on. And then I'm trying to like just kind of mix and match these like lower 7K guys. And I'm not sold on a bunch of them, but there's a lot of different guys that we've talked about. Like there's Taylor Pendrith, there's Bernd Meester, there's Taylor Moore. There's so many guys I think in that low 7K range that are really good plays that you can go to and mix and match throughout your lineups. And there's so many of them, I think I don't think you'll have like all of them catching like a 20% ownership where all your guys are above 20%. You can mix and match them a ton.
This wouldn't be a regular golf show here if Mangone wasn't asked to give 2 guys and gave 40.
Well, my thunder, JJ. I was getting ready to say
Thank you for that, Mangone. It's always
I stay on brand, Uncle. On brand, baby. That's what we do.
Uncle T, same question to you. Top DFS guy and one of the cheaper guys.
Yeah, and once again, he leaves it to me and Snyder to pick up the pieces with whatever's left, like usual.
with whatever he said.
One thing I did want to mention before I get into the picks, though, Snyder did a good job of breaking down the different courses. But as far as Showdown goes this week, and I know he's already got the playbook up, we're going to have the core plays up here probably right when I get off the show. I'm going to put mine up. You're going to want to target Monterey Peninsula for the most part in Showdown. That's by far the easiest course. So while most may know that, there's going to be a bunch of people that don't. There are going to be people out there playing Showdown that don't know that. So definitely keep an eye on that as well. But for me, yesterday when Zalatoris withdrew, I think it was yesterday, I was pretty happy because I was fading Zalatoris. Today, when Berger withdrew, I was upset because I was going to play some Daniel Berger. So that being said, I was kind of, bad on one, good on the other. But for me, I'm going to stay in that 9K range, and I'm going to go down to Kevin Streelman as my kind of top play up top this week. He's $9,100. He's got excellent course history here. Seems to really obviously love the course, sets up well. He's 40 to 1 to win the golf tournament. So up top, I will go with Kevin Streelman. And down below, he's probably going to be chalky. We've played him quite a bit. I know Snyder and I have played him quite a bit, but Taylor Moore down there at, what was he, $7,300. He's 65-1 to win the golf tournament on DK Sportsbook right now. And again, 7,300 for a guy that's 65-1. And again, even in a watered down field, 65-1. I just think that's elite value for Taylor Moore. So that's my up top guy and my value.
Awesome. Love it. Snyder, who do you like at the top and who do you like at the bottom?
I think everybody knows that I'll be on Mav this week, so I'm not going to go there. Patrick Cantley's probably the only guy up at the 10K range. I'm probably going to lock him on FanDuel just because it's so easy to play over there. But my main guy in this 9K range is going to be Seamus Power. He's had great success in these birdie type events. Finished inside the top 15 in 6 of his last 7 events. Rates out really well in windy conditions. If we've seen the wind come up on these seaside courses at any time, so I think he'll be fine if that happens. I just wanted to continue to ride the great success that Powers had here recently, and Seamus Powers minus 110 versus Jordan Spieth in the betting market, so we get a nice little $900 savings off of that. So I like going with Power there. And for my cheapie, I'm going to roll down to my guy I've been on. As I've talked about, I've wanting to attack this guy on this West Coast swing, Sahith Theegala. I'm going to be right back on him again, get a really nice price tag on him. If he can just finally put 4 rounds together and just get 4 solid rounds together, I think he's going to be right there on Sunday. He kind of blew up a couple weeks ago on Sunday. Last week he had a rough round, still finished 25th. Shot even par on his final 2 rounds. Gained nearly 7 strokes total though last week. So I'm going to be on Sahith Theegala and Seamus Power the most.
We get a spell check on that name.
Sahith.
Oh yeah, I see him. Oh, just how it sounds.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start over.
He said just how it sounds. I love it.
Snyder, I'll stick with you. So in terms of this tournament, obviously you spoke DFS, who you like price point wise, odds wise, who wins the tournament. And as you know, don't be shy to not take chalk. You can take chalk if you think that's who wins. Who do you think wins this tournament, and who presents value for you at the top?
Yeah, I've got Mav McNeely already. I bet him at 25-1. I think the odds have dropped down to like 22-1 recently, but I'm still going to be right there with Mav. I think he gets his first win here. He's 99 under par in PGA Tour events in California the last 3 seasons. That's tied with Patrick Cantley for the best in that span. 4 of his best 5 tour finishes have come in California, and he's had really good success here. T5 and second last year here. I think he improves and gets the W this week.
Love it. Love it. And Uncle T, before I slide to you, Samantha giving you a quick shout.
What is it? Oh, there it is. Yeah.
I moved it for you. Yeah. So
I can't read the comment.
That's my burner. I'm just making Uncle T.
Oh, is it? Thanks, Mangone. I appreciate you. But no, Samantha's always in there with us every week. So no, good to be back. But for me, I love the Mav call. Snyder, I'm with you. I got to 25-1 earlier in the week, so I do like that one. But for me, I'm going to go down the board just a little bit. Down there, it's $8,300 on DK. I'm going with Mito Pereira to get the W here, 40-1. Hasn't played the course before, and I'm fine with that, or the courses before this tournament. But basically, obviously, the courses. First timer, that doesn't bother me at all. Mito Pereira, I think, is one of the better values on the entire board. This week at $8,300. I wouldn't have been a bit surprised if he came out in the high 8Ks or maybe even 9K. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but Mito Pereira is going to be my winner up top. And did you want a long shot too, Uncle? Or
I'll slide that back to Uncle T right after Mangone's outright. Mangone, who do you like here to win it?
Yeah, let's go with Cameron Tringale. I like Power, Mav, and Tringale. If you want to like make a betting card like that, just playing those 3 and like not even diving down deep, I would be perfectly fine with. But yeah, I'm going with Cameron Tringale. I think he gets the job done here finally. He's been playing some really good golf, and he's one of those guys, man. He's earned a ton of money on tour. He's hit some really high finishes and just hasn't closed the deal. And this feels like the turn he can get the job done. So let's go with Cameron Tringale.
Awesome. And Uncle T, I'll slide back to you because you wanted to really give that value long shot. So who do you like as your long shot here?
So before I get yelled at, what's our number? Is it 100 or longer, or is it what are we
50.
looking at?
It's 50 or longer.
Oh, okay, good. This guy's well within that. I'm going with Grayson Sigg, 80-1 on DK Sportsbook. Grayson Sigg down there at 7K on DK, but I'm going with him as my long shot. He's been playing some good golf, and I think some of these younger players that we saw a little bit for several tournaments at the end of last year. Now they're going to get on tour for the first full year. I think we're going to see a breakout. Probably Snyder. I know you follow just a little bit more than I do on these young guys, but there is a good group of young guys coming from that Corn Ferry at the end of last year, and we got a glimpse of it last year. And we're going to see some of these guys break through, and I wouldn't be a bit surprised if Grayson Sigg does it. Maybe not this week. He has a good price, I think, down there, but I think he might have a win in store in the near future.
Love it. Mangone, on your long shot, I know you sometimes like to give like a 20-1 here. Who's your long shot that offers the best value in your eyes?
This is fake news right here. So if you want to pull up the tape, go right ahead. Maybe the edibles kicked in a little too early for you as usual, Dunkel. But yeah, man, there's so many guys down in this range I like. So it's tough to pick. I like the Grayson Sigg call from Uncle T. Let Snyder go first. I don't want to take his. I have so many guys I like in this range. So let Snyder go first. Let's see what he's got under his belt.
Careful, Snyder, man. Mangone's going to be itching for some data here.
I know. I got so many guys here I like. I could really pick. I could pick so many because I'm literally peppering this.
He's not ready.
No, I can give you one if you really want, but I want to take one of Snyder's.
Well, I mean, he did go to you, so if he didn't want to go to you, he really wouldn't have asked you.
Fair enough. I'll just go first.
I can take it. Don't matter.
Here's a guy I like. He's actually not one of the youngsters, but I like him a lot here in this spot. I think Patrick Rogers. He's played a little bit better. He hasn't flashed the upside too much yet to start out the year, but let's go with Patrick Rogers. He's more of a West Coast swing kind of guy too, so we'll go with Patty Rogers as my guy. He's 80-1, so I think I made the cut there, Dunkel. I'm sure you'll allow that one. So Patrick Rogers will be my guy, even though I like a lot of those young guys too, though, man. Don't sleep on don't sleep on mixing and matching in MME for a lot of these different guys. I think that's the way to really go. Don't go too heavy on some of them because there's so many different ones. And I think you're going to see a lot in that top of the leaderboard at these lamer events. It's okay to leave some salary and play some of these guys. They're really good young players that are going to pop here. And I've talked about this every week. I want to get exposure to them and I want to keep riding them out because those price tags are going to go up. And then Big T is going to make fun of me for saying that they're going to be like 9K at some point.
Mangone, great work. That was an excellent answer to the question. Snyder, who's your long shot?
Yeah, I'm going to double down with my guy, Sahith Theegala here. If he can put together those 4 strong rounds, I think in this, even the field has gotten even weaker with a couple of withdrawals. I think if he can just put those 4 solid rounds together, he'll be there on Sunday. He got a taste of it a couple weeks ago, blew up, but maybe this time he rights the ship. He's going to start out on Monterey, so he's going to have the easiest golf course to start out, get that good mojo flowing, and hopefully puts together 4 straight rounds and gets to the winner's circle at 100-1 odds.
Awesome. Love it. Snyder, I'll keep it right here with you. Your top 20s. Who is a player that you're targeting for T20 or that you like at value?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Mito Perez here. He's just playing so solid of golf. I've been on him quite a bit this year.
Who?
Mito.
Oh, you said Mito
Pereira?
Perez. Oh, Pereira.
Mito Pereira?
Perez.
No. I might get to him, though, here in a second. But Mito Pereira, he's just been playing so good lately. Been so consistent. I think he's top 20s here pretty easily. He's gained 2.6 strokes on approach over his last 10 events. I think he gets there pretty easy. And then I'll go with Patrick Perez then here at plus 360 to T20. I can throw that in there, too. He's kind of talked about how much harder it is on tour these days as all these young guys are coming in. The average golfer is getting much stronger. So he needs to play better early in the season when these fields are weaker so he can get his points and get through to the next season because he's got a few years before he can get to that Champions Tour. So he wants to stay on the PGA Tour as long as he can. But in order to do that, he's going to have to pick off some of these weaker fields and play well. And he has a really good course history here at Pebble as well.
Love it. Uncle T, I'll side to you for T20s. What do you have in mind?
Yeah, I've got a couple guys in mind. One of them is more of a chalkier play, I think. He's clearly getting talked up. He's playing a lot better golf recently. Obviously, as you guys mentioned, is the guy at the top of the show. I think Mangone mentioned it. Has just elite form, 8 out of 9 here. But Jason Day, plus 100. I mean, I know it's a chalky pick. It's a trendy pick in DFS. But if you're going to give me even money for a T20 for a guy that has that kind of elite course history in a field that's this watered down up top, And then again, even down below, I think we have something 90 golfers down in the 6K range. So you can eliminate, a pretty good amount of them. So I think that's pretty good value there on Jason Day. But the one I'm going to give you further down the board we haven't talked about yet, Russell Knox, plus 300, I think that's too long of a price tag to top 20 for Russell Knox, a guy that's played well here before.
Love it. Love it. Little short stack and a bigger one with Knox. Mangone, we've had both guys give two guys here. Can we make it a trifecta?
A lot of pressure on Mangone.
Mangone's going to raffle off like 4 of them here, I think.
Well, no, I'm only going to give one. Just going to keep it simple. I'm also adjusting NBA lineups. We got a lot going on right now because if you play the NBA, Jordan Clarkson got ruled out, so tons of news flying in. We could have the Jokic news coming soon too, but this is a PGA show. I went off track just like you wanted me, Dunkel, right on brand. But we're going to go with Seamus Power. He's definitely someone I like here in this spot for the top 20. You get him at plus 110 over on the FanDuel Sportsbook. So let's go with my boy Seamus.
Love it. Love it. And Snyder, actually, you know what, Uncle T, we'll start with you for the final segment here with matchups. I know Snyder gave a matchup he liked earlier, but we'll definitely go back to him right after this. Uncle T, matchups that you like or a guy you're even targeting that you think is going to have value in most of his matchups on sites?
Yeah, I mean, a couple guys that I'm going to target in matchups are going to be, and the one I want to give is for the show here is Kevin Streelman over Kevin Kisner, minus 110 on over Kevin Kisner. I don't mind Kisner as a DFS play, but as far as a matchup here, I think the value side goes to Streelman, in my opinion. Some may say it's coin toss again, minus 110 either way. It's set up for a coin toss, but I'm going to go Kevin Streelman. And guy I'm targeting DFS wise, again, we haven't talked about a lot because again, we've got our segments broken down. We got to keep on script or JJ gets mad at us. Lonto Griffin is a guy I really like quite a bit this week that we haven't talked about, but I'm really high on Lonto Griffin. Don't mind him in some matchups as well, but $8,800. I think he's primed to where he could contend on Sunday as well. So I'll stick with those guys.
Love it, and love the extra credit there as well. I can always rely on you and Snyder to do those extra credit type of exercises.
I do what I'm told, JJ. I do what I'm told.
Snyder, so who do you like for matchups here?
I kind of like the guy who wears 2 gloves and has iron covers on his irons. I'm going to go with Aaron Rye here, minus 115 over Killer Keith Mitchell. We're on Killer Keith doesn't play these type of courses too well. He likes to play those Bermuda type courses better. This polo grass tends to tilt him, and I think he's going to be trunk slamming here pretty easily. And Aaron Rye is just playing so solid as of late, and I expect another T20 or better for Aaron Rye here, so I'm going to be on Aaron Rye minus 115 versus Mitchell. And another one I was looking at would be Mito plus 118 versus Mac Hughes. Mac Hughes tends to play the tougher courses better and easier ones not as well.
You need a spell check, Dunkel, on Rye?
I was doing my findings.
I saw you search it.
I was in there. Now Mangone's making some NBA mods, so I don't want to disturb him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to figure out this news. This is very bad. I'm in shambles right now. So
I mean, we can fill some time, man.
Yeah. If
give me a couple.
30 is your lock, we'll give you some time. So final notes, Snyder, on this course. Maybe DFS approach betting wise. What's your approach to this, and is it maybe any different than what you've been doing for golf this season, which has been another good one I could see by the matchups and such on a weekly basis. So what's the strategy this week, or some final notes on the course?
For me in this like 9K range, I think like a lot of these guys are going to be popular. There's 8 guys in this range. You can make a case to play all 8 of them. I'm going to cut it down and only play 4 of them. So I'm going to take a stand. I'm going to make some tough fades here. I'm probably going to fade Jason Day. I'm probably going to fade Matthew Fitzpatrick. Not sure yet on Streelman or Kisner. I'm not sure on Rose yet, but I'm going to make some stands here in this 9K range and just kind of narrow down my pool to probably right around 25 to 30 or so golfers for my MME. I tend to play a smaller pool. I think there's a pretty big edge in DFS golf if you don't play as many golfers. I mean, you'll see some of those guys jam in like 90 golfers in their MME, and I think that's just putting them in rough shape. I mean, they can play the variance like some say, but I think playing a small pool in PGA is definitely an advantage.
No, I love the call. And Uncle T, on your end, final notes for the course, and of course, good to have you back on the show with us boys. What are some final notes for you for here?
Great to be back on the show with my favorite guys, even you, Snyder. You know, I think one of the ways of looking at this, and with Zalatoris and Berger both withdrawing up top, this isn't going to be brain surgery or rocket science here. So I think the general build for the most part will start in that 9K range, and there's nothing not to love about it. My cores that are up on the site right now may include some of those guys, but I think a contrarian way to play, and I will have one build like this, it will be to skip the entire 9K range. I'll have at least one build where I'll have Cantlay and I'll go right down to either Griffin, Hoagie, Pereira in that range and try to build there, because that 9K range, there's no doubt it is loaded. You can make a case for every one of those golfers in the 9K range to be a nice play this week in DFS. If you completely faded that range and you went up and grabbed Cantlay and then you go down into that 8K range, I think immediately, for the most part, it makes you unique. So just wanted to mention that. Again, it won't be my main team that I'll do that, but I do think that's definitely a way to go this week to get a little different.
Love it. And Mangone,
we're good to go, Dunkel.
What's happening? What's the good word? What are we looking at right now on the screen?
So I like Streel Daddy over Kisner as my matchup. I will say, why is that the one you had? I mean, Uncle T, you know I'm not paying attention, right? Like I'm out here trying to adjust my lineup.
I mean, Mangone, I'm very happy that you joined forces with Uncle T and arm in arm, but that was my matchup. I love it.
Why can't I wager
you
with
can.
you? Why can't I be arm in arm with you?
Well, I wouldn't have minded it if you listened to mine and then appreciated it and said, I'm going to join with you, but you didn't pay attention
Uncle
to
T,
my
there's
pick.
a reason.
And then
I called it out. I'm trying to adjust my lineups because Jordan Clarkson's
Uncle, take over.
Yeah, so Mangone was asked a question, and the question was asked prior to Uncle T, who answered it in a certain way, and then Mangone was seemingly trying to steal credit. It seemed like that was the vibe I was getting.
Not trying to steal credit, but but here's the thing: great minds think alike, right? It's good to be on Uncle T's side. So
I love that actually.
One thing that's nice about Streel Daddy is that the course history is good, and I know the form has been a little rough, but yeah, I think him versus Kisner, I like that one. So that's mine. And then final DFS thoughts. I just like that 9K range so much. I mean, I wish I could play like 4 or 5 of them. I mean, there's just so many that I wish I could like get in there, and trying to get like that right mix is perfect. I'm still going back and forth on what I want to do with it. Like, I don't really want to dive into the 6K range that much. Like, if I dive into the 6K range, it's probably like an Adams Fesson, but I don't think I need to go to him here. And yeah, that's just that's really my build right now. I don't see myself changing from that at all. Unless like it somehow got popular, but I think it's the best way to go today. Tringale is going to win the whole thing, and should be a fun time. That's one bet I'm definitely going to put in. Cameron Tringale gets his first PGA win. Love
it, guys. Thanks again for joining in, and obviously folks in the chat that were extra active. Appreciate you guys as well. Next week is TPC Scottsdale for the Phoenix Open. We will be here, whether it's Tuesday or Wednesday. We will figure it out. But until then, folks, stay safe, gamble responsibly, and yes, thumbs up. We'll catch you guys next week. Run pure.